In the fast-moving world of cryptocurrency, stability is often the missing link between innovation and mainstream adoption. Pi Network, one of the most community-driven blockchain projects to date, is now taking steps to introduce a stablecoin dubbed Pi, potentially anchoring its entire ecosystem around a fixed digital value. With speculative claims suggesting that one Pi could be worth $314,159 USD, attention from analysts and crypto communities is intensifying. Pi Network has already built the critical technical pillars needed to sustain a stablecoin economy, including a distributed node architecture, supernode infrastructure, an oracle system, and smart contract capabilities. The remaining step, it seems, is ensuring regulatory alignment, specifically with the recently passed Genius Act. Are you confused about what the new Genius Act means for Pi Network's future? And, most importantly, could this be the moment that changes everything for Pi's 50 million users worldwide? I'm going to answer all your burning questions about Pi Network's potential stablecoin launch, break down the new cryptocurrency laws that just passed, and reveal what this could mean for your PiCoins. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you the real facts behind the $314,159 claim, explain the game-changing Genius Act that President Trump just signed, and give you the inside scoop on Pi Network's move to open Mainnet. Plus, I have some surprising news about what's actually happening with Pi Network right now that you won't want to miss. But before we dive in, let's greet and welcome my incredible pioneers from around the world. Whether you're watching from Nigeria, Papua New Guinea, United States, India, Philippines, Canada, Kenya, or anywhere else on this beautiful planet, I'm absolutely thrilled to share this incredible news with you today. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you're always in the loop with the latest Pi Network updates. And don't forget to drop a comment saying, Pi Network to the moon, along with your country and flag. Let's fill the comments with pioneer pride and show the world how powerful and united our global community really is. Let's start with the elephant in the room. You've probably seen claims that Pi Network is preparing to launch a stablecoin with each Pi token worth $314,159. This number isn't random. It's actually based on the mathematical constant pi, which equals 3.14159. Pretty clever branding, right? But here's what you need to know. After researching the latest developments, this specific price target appears to be social media speculation rather than an official announcement from Pi Network. The real story is much more interesting than wild price predictions. Recent analyst predictions suggest Pi could trade between $500 to $520 in 2025 and potentially $890 to $920 by 2025-2030. Now, these are still predictions, not guarantees, but they're based on actual market analysis rather than mathematical constants. Here's where things get really exciting. While the $314,159 claim might be speculation, something huge just happened in the crypto world that could benefit Pi Network tremendously. On July 18, 2025, President Trump signed the Genius Act into law. This stands for Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins, and it's the first major cryptocurrency legislation ever passed by Congress. Why is this so important for Pi Network? The Genius Act creates clear rules for stablecoins, which means projects like Pi Network now have a roadmap for legal compliance. The law requires stablecoin projects to back their tokens with real assets like US dollars or short-term treasury bonds, and they must undergo monthly audits. This regulatory clarity could be exactly what Pi Network needs to move forward with confidence. No more uncertainty about whether they're operating in a legal gray area. Let's talk about what Pi Network has actually accomplished. With over 50 million active users mining Pi through mobile apps, this project has one of the largest user bases in cryptocurrency. But having users is just the beginning. Pi Network has been quietly building the technical foundation needed for a real cryptocurrency ecosystem. They've developed a distributed node network where regular users help validate transactions. They've created supernode infrastructure to handle high-volume data processing. They've built Oracle systems that can connect their blockchain to real-world data. And they've implemented smart contracts that can automate complex financial operations. This isn't just theory. These systems are already running during Pi Network's enclosed mainnet phase. The team has been testing everything with real users, real transactions, and real applications. Here's some concrete news you can get excited about. Pi Network is expected to launch their open mainnet sometime in the second half of 2025. This is huge because it means Pi tokens could finally be traded on public exchanges. For 3 years, Pi Network has been operating in what they call enclosed mainnet, basically a testing phase where everything works, but Pi tokens can't be traded outside the Pi ecosystem. The move to open mainnet changes everything. Once the open mainnet launches, Pi holders will be able to trade their tokens, developers can build applications on the Pi blockchain, and businesses can integrate Pi payments. This is when Pi Network transitions from an experimental project to a real, functional cryptocurrency. Let's be honest about the challenges too. In early July 2025, Pi Network had a significant token unlock event where 19.2 million Pi tokens entered circulation. Some people worried this would hurt the token's value. But here's the positive perspective. Token unlocks are normal for cryptocurrency projects transitioning from closed to open systems. Pi Network handled this professionally, and it's part of their plan to gradually open up the network while maintaining stability. The fact that they're managing these transitions carefully shows that the team is thinking long-term about Pi Network's success, not just rushing to market. Web3 integration, Pi Network's vision for the future. Pi Network isn't just trying to create another cryptocurrency. They're building infrastructure for Web3, the next generation of the internet where users control their own data and finances. Imagine being able to make payments, store value, and run applications without depending on banks or big tech companies. That's the vision Pi Network is working toward. Their potential stablecoin would be a key piece of this puzzle, providing stable value for everyday transactions while their main Pi token could appreciate based on network growth and adoption. Here's something most people miss when they focus on price predictions. Pi Network's real strength is its community. 50 million users didn't join just because of potential profits. They joined because Pi Network made cryptocurrency accessible to regular people. You don't need expensive mining equipment. You don't need technical knowledge. You just need a smartphone and a few seconds each day to contribute to the network. This accessibility could be Pi Network's biggest advantage as cryptocurrency goes mainstream. Pi Network is truly global, with users in almost every country. This matters because many people around the world don't have access to traditional banking services. A stable, easy-to-use cryptocurrency could provide financial services to billions of people who are currently excluded from the global economy. The recent Genius Act focuses on US regulation, but its influence extends worldwide. When the United States creates clear cryptocurrency rules, other countries often follow similar frameworks. This could help Pi Network expand globally with confidence. For Pi Network to reach its full potential, several things need to happen. First, they need to complete their transition to open mainnet successfully. Second, they need to comply with the new regulations established by the Genius Act. Third, they need to demonstrate real-world utility for their tokens. The good news is that Pi Network has been preparing for all of these challenges. Their enclosed mainnet has been testing scalability and security. Their technical infrastructure is designed to meet regulatory requirements, and they're already working with businesses and developers to create practical applications for Pi tokens. If Pi Network does launch a stablecoin, it could be a brilliant strategic move. Stablecoins are the backbone of cryptocurrency commerce because they provide predictable value for payments and contracts. Having both a stable token for transactions and an appreciating token for investment could make Pi Network incredibly versatile. But launching a stablecoin also requires significant regulatory compliance and financial backing. Pi Network would need to hold real assets equal to the value of all stablecoins in circulation. This is where the Genius Act's requirements could actually help by providing clear guidelines. Let's talk about investment potential realistically. Pi Network has impressive user numbers, solid technical infrastructure, and favorable regulatory conditions. These are all positive factors for long-term value creation. However, success isn't guaranteed. Pi Network faces competition from established cryptocurrencies and needs to prove that their user base will translate into real economic activity. The transition to open mainnet is a critical test of whether the project can deliver on its promises. Smart investors should view Pi Network as a long-term opportunity rather than a get-rich-quick scheme. The project has potential, but it needs time to mature and demonstrate real-world value. Pi Network's technical approach is uniquely designed for mobile users and energy efficiency. Unlike Bitcoin's energy-intensive mining, Pi Network uses a consensus algorithm that works on smartphones without draining batteries or consuming massive amounts of electricity. This environmental friendliness could be a huge advantage as the world becomes more conscious about cryptocurrency's environmental impact. Pi Network offers the benefits of blockchain technology without the environmental costs. One key to Pi Network's success will be attracting developers to build applications on their platform. The project has been creating tools and resources to help developers create Pi-based applications during the enclosed mainnet phase. When the open mainnet launches, these applications could provide immediate utility for Pi tokens. Everything from games and social media to financial services and e-commerce could be built on the Pi blockchain. The Genius Act might seem like additional bureaucracy, but it could actually benefit legitimate projects like Pi Network. Clear regulations help separate serious projects from scams and give institutional investors confidence to participate. Pi Network's focus on compliance and gradual, careful development could position them well in this new regulatory environment. While some projects might struggle with new requirements, Pi Network has been preparing for exactly these kinds of regulatory frameworks. So, what's the bottom line? While the $314,159 price claim appears to be speculation, Pi Network is making real progress toward becoming a functional cryptocurrency ecosystem. The Genius Act provides regulatory clarity, the technical infrastructure is being tested and refined, and the move to open mainnet is approaching in the second half of 2025. The combination of 50 million users, solid technology, regulatory compliance, and upcoming market access creates genuine potential for Pi Network's success. Whether that translates to specific price targets remains to be seen, but the fundamentals look promising for patient, long-term supporters. Remember, cryptocurrency investments are always risky, and you should never invest more than you can afford to lose. But for those already involved in Pi Network, these recent developments provide reasons for optimism about the project's future. If you found this analysis helpful and want to stay updated on Pi Network's development, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. I'll continue covering Pi Network's progress as they move toward open mainnet and beyond. Don't forget to like this video if you're excited about Pi Network's potential, and drop a comment saying Pi Network to the moon, along with your country name and flag. I love seeing how global our community is, and your engagement helps spread this information to other Pi Network supporters worldwide. Share this video with anyone who's been asking questions about Pi Network's stablecoin plans or the impact of new cryptocurrency regulations. Together, we can keep our community informed with accurate, researched information rather than speculation and hype. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive deeper into cryptocurrency developments that matter to real people. Until then, keep mining responsibly, stay informed, And remember, the best investments are the ones you understand completely.